Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I want to talk today about three no-fail ways to fill your creative tank. 3 ways in which you can ensure that your tank remains full enough to continue pouring out to others and bringing valuable content and help to other people. Because it's so important that we as creative ministers, creative Christians, men and women out there in the marketplace looking to bring value to others, it's so important that we ourselves do what we can to stay full. Really, we don't want to be in a position where we are serving up just the scraps of our emotional energy on a plate. We want to be in a place where we are a life-giving fountain, that there is a flow from the inner man that pours out toward others. And the development and the vitality of our creative output really does very much rest on one key thing, and that is that we must take care of ourselves. As creatives, it's something that sometimes is we don't readily do. We're wired to output. We're wired to create. We're wired to give out. But we can end up in some kind of martyrish kind of cycle where we just keep pouring out until our emotional bucket runs dry. And then even then, we still kind of squeeze in the mop to try and get out the last few drops. But I am certain, my artistic, entrepreneurial friends, that's not God's best for you. He wants your stewardship of his creative gifts to come from an overflow of his life filling and coursing through your being and through your being. His plan is for you to become a rich fountain that never runs dry. Writers, artists, dancers, singers, filmmakers, actors, painters, poets, preachers, teachers, whoever you are and however you're turning up in the world, you are valued. Your contribution to the world really does need to be nurtured and protected. And we need to diligently not just look how we can serve others, but also consider how we can take care of ourselves. Jesus said when he was asked about kind of the foundations upon which we build our Christian life, he said, love the Lord your God, with all of your strength, love your neighbor, but then says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And so, we sometimes it's easy for us to love God, love others, or at least kind of expend ourselves in an effort to do that, but fail to really love ourselves, and I'm not talking in a kind of survival type mode. We all kind of cave in on ourselves sometimes where we become our own universe, like a black hole sucking everything in. I'm talking kind of in those more kind of more ordinary moments, if you know what I mean, where we are aware of those around us, aware of the world around us, and we're seeking to turn up in the best way we possibly can. And even as artists, we are really in one way and some ways continually giving, and so there needs to be an opportunity for you to refill your tank so you can keep moving and keep giving and keep contributing. And these are 3 ways in which I personally recharge my creative batteries. And I would be so interested to hear what you do. Do you know what I mean? How do you recharge? How do you kind of replenish your creative energies? Now, first of all, number one is just to pray and meditate, just heart-to-heart time with God, heart-to-heart time with Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. You know, it really it's no surprise that if we want to be creative, we need to stay plugged into the Creator, that He is the source, He is the vine, we are the branches, and if we want the juice to flow, we've got to remain connected in a vital way. I love the Bible in basic English is not one that I read often, but I do love Ephesians 3:10 in the Bible in basic English translation. It says, "Make clear through the church," and that's you and I, okay, not some organization or some meeting somewhere, but through the church, God's people, make clear through the church the wide shining wisdom of God. God's wisdom is wide shining, and just like a flower needs sunlight to flourish, your spirit needs His light, His wide shining wisdom to nourish your inner man so you can turn up outwardly in ways that are helpful to other people. The second way in which I look to kind of fill my tank is to let nature do its perfect work. Right at the beginning, we find Adam and Eve in the garden, and they were placed not in a city. They were placed not in amongst a heap of busy madness. They were placed not in an office, a sports hall, or a movie theater. They were planted in a garden. And the Bible also speaks of trees lining the banks of the river in the new creation, whose leaves and fruits feed and heal the nations. And but we don't need to wait for that healing, filling abundance to touch our soul. We can get a taste of it here, certainly not the fullness, but we can begin to imbibe of the world to come because we've tasted the powers of that world. We can taste them right here. And one of the ways I believe that God communicates life to us is through nature. I'm always amazed how loudly, a tree can speak to your spirit, and believe me, I'm no tree hugger. Do you mean I'm not? But I know that when I get out in nature, when I get in the woods, in the forests, on the hills, or whatever, it doesn't take long before the tumult of my soul subsides and I begin to drink in something of the Father's grace, goodness, generosity, and love. And then finally, number three, the third way that I try to look to fill my creative tank and just keep things moving so I'm not just kind of expending all the time, is to allow the overflow of other people's creativity to pour into you. If you're a writer, read. If you're a painter or an artist, go to the gallery and view someone else's work. If you're a musician, go to a concert, whack on the noise cancelling headphones and spend an hour just being transported by the sounds and songs of someone who is in your world of music making, songwriting. And the key here really is not to read or look or listen to learn, okay, or to criticize, but just to be an open, unjudgmental receiver. We're not here to assess, measure, or compare. We're just doing it for sheer pleasure. And doing things for enjoyment, doing things simply because we enjoy doing them, does tend to our soul. It fills us, it ministers to us on the inside. So today I just want to encourage you to love yourself a little. and you'll certainly thank yourself if you choose to do so. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully it's been an encouragement to you today. If you want to connect any further, you can do so through my website at davidleemartin.com. Have a great day.